So poor communication can have an impact on every aspect of your life, personally and professionally. And sometimes you can say all the right words and still miss the mark. Why is that? That's because often conflict is 10% a difference of opinion and 90% tone and delivery. Your tone of voice is just as important as the words you say, and sometimes it might even be more important. Welcome to Momentum Live. I'm Brooke Scutt. So why is tone important? Well, first and foremost, tone helps communicate your emotions. I'm sure at some point you've heard or said, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. This is a perfect example of how you can have all of the right words, but the emotions that you're using to communicate those are telling a different story to the person you're talking to. You know, sometimes tone can help emphasize authority. If you're speaking with confidence and you're speaking with power versus speaking a little bit softer or a little more insecurely, you're communicating a sense of authority through your tone. You know, the other thing that tone is so important that it does is that it clarifies and conveys the meaning of the message that you're trying to give. A simple phrase like, I don't know, can have multiple meanings based on the tone that you use it in. If you think about, it can be utilized in a way that, how you say things can determine whether or not people perceive you or are even willing to listen to you. So what are the elements of tone? Let's talk about those. So we have pitch, pace, volume, and timbre, right? So let's start with these. So your pitch is going to be the highness and the lowness in your voice. So an overly high-pitched voice often indicates immaturity and or defensiveness. We get high-pitched when we're defending ourselves. Also, ending a sentence in a higher pitch is confusing because oftentimes we do that when we're asking a question, something like that. So asking a question versus ending in a statement, depending on how your pitch changes at the end of that sentence. You know, when you need to make a professional impression on someone, speaking in a low pitch can really help you be more authoritative and taken more seriously, regardless of whether your message is particularly profound or deep in anything. And then quite the opposite, if your pitch is very high, others may assume that you're unsure about what you're talking about or what you're trying to say. So the second thing is pace. Pace is obviously how quickly or how slowly that you speak. Slowing down the way that you speak, slowing down your pace may help somebody understand and absorb your message better. However, going too slow also might be a problem. It allows people to feel like you're being condescending or perhaps offensive to them. So communicating your message, focus on speaking with a steady, even pace. And that steady, even pace really allows people to focus in and clearly absorb your message. So volume, increasing your volume will either cause the other person to yell back at you or completely retreat and no longer have a communication with you. If you really want to try to emphasize something, volume isn't the way to do it. Slow down your pace and then emphasize with pauses so that a person can actually think about what you're saying and take it in. And then timbre is the emotional quality of the tone of your voice. So what that really is the attitude that you bring to what you say. And it's important that you understand that that attitude that you bring really helps people comprehend what you're trying to say. And you want to slow down and listen, take note to the attitude that you're bringing to a particular conversation in the tone. Oftentimes we are bringing along a tone of negativity because of something bigger that's going on in our lives. Are you overwhelmed? Are you stressed? So taking note to how you sound. Do you sound happy? Do you sound sad? Do you sound frustrated? Do you sound bored? Whatever it is in your tone of voice. So, we know what tone is now. We know why it's important to people, but is there anything we can do to improve it? Well, yes, of course we can. First and foremost, and most importantly, you need to listen to yourself and reflect. Take time to listen and how you speak to others. Be observant of your tone, your pitch, your pace, your volume, your timbre. You may be surprised. You may be surprised at the tone that you put out. and also reflect on it. Most of the time, again, the reason why we have a negative tone is because something larger is going on in our lives, and we're allowing that attitude to come through in our tone. Lastly, should you have a conflict or a need to discuss a tone issue with someone, sometimes, like we said, tone can be misconstrued. It's important that, you address that. Sometimes other people are just simply unaware of their tone, and it's important that you address that elephant in the room and find a way to move forward. I hope you found this valuable. Have a great Monday and a great week, and I'll see you guys next week.